Hello there, welcome to another episode of the African Business Showcase, brought to you by Showcase African TV. On this show, what we try to do is to show you the beauties and the opportunities that exist in Africa. And on this episode, we're happy to bring somebody very exciting. I think the background, the story is so interesting. And I'm sure that we're going to have a very, very nice time on the show today. But before we go into the show, I'd like you to follow us across all our social media platforms and try and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Showcase Africa TV. And please also ensure that you turn on your notification so that when we drop a show, you'll be able to see it. So let's get into the show. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Precious Omogiate. Omogiate. Okay, that's almost so. That's 80% score, which is not bad.
Not bad.
I'm always an A flyer, So thank you for joining us on this show. This particular edition is very peculiar, and why I like it is so that we can learn another dimension for African in diaspora, doing business there and also doing business here.
Yeah.
This will have been aired in Qatar, but we're happy that you are in Nigeria. So, but I hope to still do some other episode in Qatar. Sure. So that's the perspective from which we're coming from. But the first thing we'd like to know is to give us a background as to who you are, what you do, and we'll take it from there.
Awesome. Thank you very much for having me, Mr. Damilola. Darasimi is behind the camera.
Yeah.
The name has stuck.
Yeah.
All right. My name is Precious, and I've been in Qatar for about 13 years now.
Wow.
And the story behind the young man is a man who left Nigeria but never left Nigeria.
Yeah.
I will explain. I left Nigeria physically, but in here, I never left Nigeria. And the journey so far in Qatar and navigating through to the business side of things has been an interesting one. Sweet and bitter, I will tell you. I think as we continue the discussion, we're going to expand on that. And I am a seasoned real estate personnel, in quote, I use personnel. I am delving into that aspect now because it's an area that I've seen defines us as a people and an area that is still young in the Nigeria economy. Even though we see the numbers rolling in billions of dollars, the market is still very young.
Gotcha.
And as a seasoned professional, health and safety professional, I worked with the Qatar Energy LNG, national company owned by Qatar. And I added 2 departments as a lead for facility management and health and safety, which is an area that I have passionate about. It also gives me the opportunity to manage people, meet people from diverse economy and diverse background. So same thing as marketing, you see. And the social aspect, former director of socials or social secretary Nigerians in Diaspora organization, currently a strong liaison with the Nigerian economy in Qatar, Nigeria embassy in Qatar, and a member of the African Unite Qatar, which is the African body for all Africans domiciled in Qatar. And of course, I graduated from the University of Port Harcourt.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting aspect where I was also part of the student union. And that opened my eyes to understanding how to manage people. And right now, I am the director of Tamim Properties. We'll talk more about Tamim Properties and what we do. Tamim Properties is just around 3 years in the real estate sector, but has done wonderfully well. We're currently in 4 countries, and what we're doing is to bring real estate closer home and showcase Africa through real estate to the world. And we'll dive in.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a very, very rich background, and for me, I think we can lean on that to start to say, you read anatomy in school.
Yeah.
So how were you able to transit Did you ever do anything around that anyways? Then before you left Nigeria, after you left, and how did as your journey pan? Because you mentioned the safety thing, right? How can you just walk us through those transitions? Then we'll now talk about how you morphed into the property space. Then we can delve more into that.
All right. So I see myself more like someone who's been moving through life systematically and observing. One thing I would say in my upbringing, or while I grew up, while I was growing up, was that I never had my mates as friends. The youngest of people that interacted with me would be more than 10 years older than me.
Wow.
So that quickly opened my mind to the world, opened my eyes to the world. I quickly understood that BSc wasn't a trophy. BSc was more like a foundation upon which you build. It's an opening to the table. You might not be at the table, but you're in the room. You can hear the discussions going on in that table. I always knew I wasn't going to work with human anatomy. But it was what JAM gave to me. It was the opportunity that I had. Of course, people who study those are easily seen as people who couldn't make it to medicine. However, it was a blessing in disguise. Towards my final year, I became friends with my lecturer, one of the youngest lecturer at the time, Mr. Josiah Hart of Human Anatomy. I still thank you every day, by the way. He told me something that really stuck with me till date. And we were just sitting and discussing with my friends, and singled me out in that public and told me, in that gathering, and told me, I believe in your future.
Wow.
Coming from a background where you hardly, African parents don't tell you, they don't really encourage you with their words. That stuck with me, and I grew closer to him. And in the process, we developed something called the Sunday morning session. Sunday morning sessions, I know many Christians will not like this. We're not going to church, but we're brainstorming. Brainstorming on the future. He was older than me, but he wasn't old. We could see that we could build the future together collaboratively. And one thing that showed me was that I had the opportunity to do a lot of things. And health and safety at the time was a big deal in Port Harcourt. You hear HSC 1,
that makes sense.
HSC
I can
2,
imagine, because
HSC
of the oil,
3, exactly.
Oil and gas guys.
Exactly. So we also referred to human anatomy at the time as the engineering of medicine. Because there was always a bragging right between anatomy students and physiology students. We say we are structure, and they say they are function. Then we ask, what is function without structure? You see, that argument was always there at the time. So when the health and safety discussion came up, it caught my attention. Called health, safety, environment. Meaning it's 3 separate sectors. You could play is wide.
I get you.
As I delved in, I saw how wide the health and safety sector became. So if I already have a certification in health, so I needed to study safety. I don't need much to study about environment.
I get you.
And that's caught my attention, and I decided to go in that direction. But again, the opportunity to go to Qatar came.
So how did that happen?
All right, so that's between my mom and her friend. They were talking about what are the opportunities available to young men now in Nigeria. He's studying human anatomy. We know, everything that comes to mind is mortuary. But this guy is not ready to do that. And then when I convinced her that, see what I'm looking at, teaching towards, and I intend to register for a program where I could get the certification in health and safety. And she got talking with her friends to understand teachers, when they're in their staff rooms, they communicate. And one of her friends has said her son is in Qatar.
Oh, wow.
And that she thinks that they are also looking into health and safety and all of those stuff there. And
they are also an oil country.
Exactly. But then again, like I said, health and safety is wide.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Very wide. And I got to see how wide it was until when I delved in. I got the contact. I was told what to do, courses to do in preparation for an international certification. Now we've moved from national certification to international certification. In between, so many stories, waiting, courses done in preparation for that. The day I arrived Qatar, to be precise, on the 30th of June 2013, the next day was the day I registered for NEBOSH.
Okay.
The National Examination Board on Occupational Safety and Health. I registered for it then in the International General Certification. And the rest, they will say, is history.
Wow. So walk us through your career from there. Where did you work, or how were you able to practice after you were done? What have you done with that?
Oh, yes. I have done a lot with that. And I've also added several other certifications and become a member of the International Institute for Risk and Safety Management, and also the International Organization for Safety and Health, IOSH, and a host of others. When I finished the certificates, you see, learning never ends.
Yeah, I get you.
Once you get knowledge to an extent, you understand that there's more to learn.
That, yeah.
There's more you could to unravel as you study. IGC wasn't enough. We needed to be the best at what we did. Remind you, at the time when we came into Qatar, Nigerians were not really known for something. Then that sector was, predominantly dominated by foreigners. I don't want to mention nationalities.
I get you.
But when Nigerians found out that we could do this course at short time,
and
though it's expensive, and this will open a way for us to get this job that we admire in these guys, trust me, all hell broke loose. Everybody went in. We like Efico, we like reading.
I get you, yeah.
We a lot of people got in. Those who couldn't, couldn't. Those who could, and progressed from there, level 3 to level 6 to diploma in NEBOSH, and firefighting came in. Basic life safety came in. The helicopter underwater escape training came in. Different sectors, but then again, remember, Qatar was preparing for the World Cup.
Oh, I get you.
Construction. Qatar was a big construction site. So civil engineers were busy, mechanical engineers were busy, electrical were busy. Engineers do not care about how they get the job done. They want to get the job done as per the quality and standard.
I get you.
Our job is to navigate to make sure you're safe. You go back home to your loved one, same way you came, at least.
Yeah, I get you.
That's what we were focused on. Again, you have to just oppose this vis-a-vis the progress of the project. That's where common sense comes in. So a lot of these things were more like, people coming together to understand that we're here to help you. It had its own challenges, but Qatar is where everybody wants to visit now.
No, I get you.
They were constructed.
So has it slowed down in terms of opportunity that exists in Qatar relative to the safety industry? Has it slowed down considerably, or is just,
It slowed down considerably. Why I'm taking my time to respond to that is that the sector itself, whatever starts must end. Construction will come to an end.
Yeah.
Some of us, I use us, including myself, saw the future. That whatever finishes needs to be maintained. So we had already left, though it was booming at the time prior to the World Cup, we had to look critically at the progression of the nation. What's the Vision 2030 saying? Vision 2030 wasn't a developing economy. If you look at the Qatar Vision 2030, it's not referring to Qatar as a developing economy. It's referring to Qatar as a functional economy.
I get you.
So you need to leave that aspect, that space, to see that when it's functional, where do I fit in? You're not going to be telling somebody, oh, I know how to maintain a crane, when you should be maintaining elevators.
Yeah, I get you.
So we then switched to facility management.
That
brings the facility management aspect of
and the
my
maintenance
profession.
Yeah,
exactly. So looking at the maintenance of these buildings, the constructions are done. How do you navigate making people, access and egress these buildings? International standards and requirements and regulations needs to be met. NFPA and all of the British standards, building codes, the Qatar construction specification codes, and Qatar civil defense requirement. These are the few that those who are in Qatar will understand where I'm coming from.
So let's look at it broadly now to talk about the opportunity that exists within the health and safety space generally. Can you walk us through about five major opportunities or areas that are opening up that you think people should pay attention to, either they're in Qatar or in UK or in Africa specifically, where we are mostly always lagging behind on some of these things? I know there's the issue around ESG and all of that. How does it play out in this whole opportunity that is emerging, really?
So that's a broad question. So if we're looking at Qatar, which already not concluding, advanced in their construction and infrastructural development, we'll be looking at the functional aspects of health and safety. How do we get this building, or how do we get this infrastructure functional that we do not then need to start saving lives after an incident has happened, but rather protect life and also be proactive before all of this happens. Sometimes the black man, sorry to say, Africans, until it happens, before we react and say, sorry. Nigeria now, as a case study, is expanding on the transportation aspect of things. Infrastructure are being put in place. We're building bridges. Have we tested the balustrade and the edge protections to see that this can hold the kind of vehicles that will travel on these roads? If there's water, logged on this road and certain vehicles are coming, will it be safe enough for them to go? Is there a level marking to say vehicles cannot go beyond when this water is at this level? Lightweight vehicles would probably float. I almost lost my life in Calabar many years ago.
Wow.
Yes, because it was flooded and I felt, it wasn't too serious. Let me just go through. Go through. I realized my vehicle had become a boat.
Wow.
The tires were no longer touching the ground. I had to quickly go on reverse, spinning fast.
Wow.
The slightest friction that tire got was what saved my life.
Wow.
Right on the side was a big drainage system. I was new in Calabar. I did not know. But thank God, I think the government looked into it and they did the necessary steps. So looking at the African infrastructure development, Nigeria as a case study, I know I've met a lot of Nigerians in the diaspora attending various symposiums and various conferences on health and safety, but I do not see it reflecting
in what is happening,
in what's happening in
because just yesterday an incident happened on the island and people were coming through. That does not make any sense to me. But there should be all this evacuation point. That means it's a nonsense thing. At the end of the day, that means there are no standard practices and occasional checks. At least you go to some hotel at times when the alarm comes up, and what they're saying is that they are just prepping or checking that everything is okay. Why will it be that such a building in the center of town, is not, that people who are now jumping through the window, and that's extremely hazardous.
It is. One thing I would like to point out in that is that health and safety does not take the place of God You see, health and safety prepares you to know what to do. But there's also room for what we call human error. And at the same time, whatever is developed or designed also captures in the fact that people will do what you expect them to do. So there's a case study or a video I like using for some of my trainings where certain people were put into a room and the alarm went off. Normally, when the alarm goes off, you react to check if something is going on. They didn't pay attention. They continued what they were doing.
It happens actually. You know, when you get on the alarm, maybe in the building or hotel, everybody just continue
about what they're
probably
doing.
Test or something. Not
they're
knowing.
Waiting for someone to come tell them to move. Why won't you go check first?
Yeah, be
sure. Even after being sure, what if? There's always, so you see the word what if is something we use for what we call risk assessment. You keep asking yourself, what if? What if? So what if there's actually an incident not on your floor? So when I saw that video yesterday, thankfully, the only person I saw jump off was safe because they took the initiative to throw a cushion down before the guy jumped off, and thankfully he landed on the cushion and then encouraging the other person to jump off. But then again, there are certain procedures that could be in place. We do not know if those were in place. That's where investigation comes in. Were there floor wardens at each floor? Were there marked out evacuation routes where people are aware of where to go, when, where, and how? You see, all of these things play a key role. And at the same time, where the passive systems, in place, functional, passive being the firefighting, the sprinkler system, were they in place? Was the fire alarm system in place? The active system where you go pull the manual call points, were they working? These are things that matter. And this is one of the reasons why I've looked to coming back home to establish facility management companies in different states to manage this kind of thing. Again,
so do you think we don't have enough? Are you saying the opportunity in facility management based on the gaps that we've seen? So, of course, there are facility management companies like this already. Are you saying that your evaluation is showing that maybe we don't have, for the want of better word, maybe sophisticated or maybe globally compliant facility management company?
Okay, so there's an easy way to answer this. Nigerians will react mainly according to common sense, more like knowing that they've been trained to do this. How do I explain this now? So, for example, if an accident happens on the road, the first thing a Nigerian will want to do, in quotes, most Nigerians, not all Nigerians, is to save themselves from police headache. If I help this person and this person dies, they will hold me responsible. If I do this for this person, they will hold me responsible and all that. Why not save life first? Even if the person dies, you tried. That's off your conscience. It's in the prying eyes of so many other persons. But it's easier to whip out a phone and do a video. Okay, why not record me helping this person?
As an evidence.
That's an evidence if anything happens. So anything you do could help. Another thing too is, in Qatar, I happen to have managed an educational facility. Do you know that the children, the students that attend that school, if they hear the alarm and you as a teacher don't leave, they could leave you in the classroom. Because they've been so trained and accustomed to know that once the alarm goes off. So training is also
a critical part
that's where I'm coming to.
I get you.
That's where I'm coming to. So where have Nigerians been trained? How have they been trained? If you do not train them, don't blame them. don't blame them. If you're in a workspace and they've not been trained to say, if this fire comes from point A north, leave through south, this is the route. If it comes through south, this is the road to go out from. If there's no training in place, there's no directional signage in place, or at least, for example, know how to fight fire, the basic firefighting, training. Some of these organizations do not prioritize this, and this is part of facility management.
Definitely.
You need to be in the know. If it is small, you can manage. If it is more than what you can manage, leave. We can build other houses. We cannot make you. If an individual dies, that's the end. It's finished.
I get you.
But any house that goes down now, burnt, will be constructed again, where there's insurance and there's money. You see. So looking at it, the educational aspect plays a key role in all of this. How informed are Nigerians to respond to emergency response, to emergencies?
I get you.
What's the criteria they need to meet to get certain jobs done, when, where, and how?
That makes sense, because now you're extending it. You know, coincidentally, we've consulted we're marketing-wise for a safety company before now. Of course, they focus on the oil and gas. That's why I was talking about oil and gas, because there's a lot of money there. Safety boats. It's just commonsensical. So you rather focus where the money is. But I'm thinking that safety as a general orientation is lacking in this country. That's a massive stuff. In fact, it looks to me like he's supposed to be part of general studies.
True.
Because, but the problem is that we don't, it's been said, let me put it that way, that we don't really actually value human life around here. So for you to put it on front burner, in fact, you see places where safety is supposed to be paramount. Certain rules are being flogged, like indications on the floor, wet floors, this and that and that and that. People not responding to alarm. Almost like we don't even value our lives or value the life of people that are around us. Even basic resuscitation method, all of those things are not there. So for me, that's extremely massive potential that we're talking about there.
Schools, if you get them young, you have saved the next generation.
That makes a lot of sense.
Now, do you know that as per the NFPA laws, the rules in NFPA, educational facilities, NFPA 101 to be precise, educational facilities are supposed to conduct emergency evacuation exits every month.
Wow.
Once every month. And the moment school resumes, within the first 30 days, you're supposed to have an emergency evacuation. As simple as that. So now imagine a student that has been evacuated from the classroom once every month, showing them the route to take out from the building.
And
if
by the time it's even like 12, 13, 20, it's already ingrained.
And you think he will be in a hotel and hear the alarm and sit? No, he will walk out. And now
go to the assembly points.
Exactly. They will go to the muster point assembly points to wait for further instruction, because safety first. We keep saying that word, safety first. If you're in the aircraft, they tell you what? Put on your mask first before you help someone.
I get you.
If you're now responding to an emergency and you are not trained, you easily become the victim yourself. We've seen these cases where people
will panic. And all of that. Because there are no life simulation. You know, we don't even, when we enter the plane, we don't even pay attention to whatever they're saying. Can we just leave? Because the remotest of idea, nothing will happen. And if everything happens anyway, everybody is dead anyway. You know that kind of thing.
So they think.
Yeah, but that's the general thinking around that. So that is very interesting. So what we're saying, in other words, is that there are a lot of opportunity within that health and safety space globally, and more particularly in Nigeria. I think there's still gaps, because I've never thought in my head that there's so much gaps. And that's what we keep talking about on this show, right? To say that I believe that just massive opportunity that still exists.
True.
I don't really understand why people just stay with the negative narratives. More so in the context of Africa. Africa is the last frontier in terms of growth and opportunity, in terms of potentials. And people are coming in to take advantage of that opportunities. But we that were here, all we're focusing on is sensationalism, negative press, bad happenings, gossip, social media. The youth are distracted rather than looking at some of this area. Imagine that somebody just took an interest, in what we've been discussing and deep dive into it. Just like there are several opportunities. The last guest I had was around tech. The guest before real estate. So you're seeing loads of opportunity, like I'm seeing in my own sector, which is marketing and media. And I'm deep diving seriously into those possibilities and opportunity. And that's the reason why we have these conversations, to make sure that we show that opportunity that exists within different industry in different countries of Africa, or at least for Africans that are in diaspora to be able to take advantage of some of these opportunities. I would never have thought that one will go to Dubai to go and do it and safety. The regular thing will be what people will be looking out for. But there are actually professional courses like this, safety and health practice, that you can actually build competence in. The good thing also is that is actually transferable skill, if there's any word like that, which means if you decide today to come back to Nigeria, you go to South Africa, or you go to London or to the US, you can actually replicate this. So that makes sense. So let's now zoom in a bit. Since you are a Qatari, a Qatar-based Nigerian, what are the other opportunities that exist within the Qatar economy that maybe people can look at and pay attention to? Because nothing says that we cannot put a straw into the economy out there and, literally taking some stuff, and that creates some form of effects.
True. There's been a recent explosion in the food industry in Qatar.
Wow.
For Nigerians and for Africans. I think in the last 2 years, there's been over, off my head, 5 or 6 restaurants that have opened in Qatar. I'm affiliated to one because one thing people know me for in the country is that I'm known for quality and I'm known for facts. So I don't know if it's okay to mention the name of a restaurant.
You can. I think that was also the one you were saying that I will have to interview when I go. Right?
Exactly, that you will have to interview the owner. So there's a restaurant called Nene Sam's currently, and it's a sensation. If you check on their page on Instagram, you'll be amazed the number of people that have left reviews and have been talking about Nene Sam's in Qatar. Why I'm picking that restaurant is because 100% of the times I've been there, 100% of the times I've referred people there, 100% of the times people have just stumbled in there, 100% of the times they've ordered, they've been happy.
Wow.
People have purchased Nene Sam's and traveled to the US and made videos on their own account.
Wow.
Talking to their friends. What this tells me is that if you studied...
I will check it out, bro.
Oh, you should.
It better be.
You should.
It better come correct.
And I can't wait for your review after you return from Qatar to tell us what it's like.
We'll check it out,
I think I made a funny post recently and they told me people were laughing, but they didn't know I meant it, that I was, flying back. The food they gave to me in the aircraft, I was like, I wish I was having Nene Sam's here. Why am I saying this? Okay. Prior to when restaurants opened, we could barely get food, like Nigerian food, legally, in quotes. When I say legally, like where you go to and sit, not people cooking from home, people supplying and all that. But once it was, initiated and implemented by one, people understood it's doable, and then they understood the playbook. Now, what that has also created is that it has now opened the eyes of these business owners to understand that there's a supply chain issue.
Wow, I get you.
That's another aspect now. You see how getting one business or one sector right opens ripple effects to other aspects. Now we're going to see a rise for these restaurants needing drivers to supply their foods because of the demand. Do you know that on the average, because I also interact and also coordinate events, each time I've visited hotels that I have affiliations with, you will hear something like, we're expecting 80-something Nigerians tomorrow. We're expecting 100 and something Nigerians tomorrow.
Yeah.
The influx of Nigerians into Qatar lately has been astronomical.
That's true. Again, by default, because of this Dubai or debacle.
And
yeah,
Qatar,
that's a good one.
Qatar is a wonderful replacement for Dubai. What are you talking about that is not in Qatar?
Yeah.
And Qatar offers you a saner Dubai. That's what I always say. Quieter, saner, clean. It gives you the same feel.
Yeah, I get you.
All the fun you want to think about, you have it in Qatar. So when they've locked that, I think they've lost all of that to Qatar. And Qatar is more than happy to receive Nigerians, to welcome. And you have a strong Nigerian community in Qatar, welcoming you and ready to show you around. Another aspect of business that, of course, with what we're discussing now, is the travel agencies, the travel industry, the entertainment and the hospitality industry has also exploded. Courtesy the influx of Nigerians coming into Qatar. So a visionary will look at the ecosystem and plug in somewhere.
Yeah, I get you.
You see that I'm going to go into transportation, go into restaurants, provide food for them, become a tour guide, get the visas done, or organize events. Qatar has become one of the favorite destination for parties.
Are doing that,
Do you know the amount of weddings, the amount of birthdays that goes on in Qatar from the Nigerian Nigerians already in diaspora from the US, from
you
UK.
Can't believe it. It's quite crazy that the tickets are, well, not maybe talking about the Qatar Airways, what's it called? The tickets are moderately cheaper than within Africa. There's a ticket, I'll mention the name of the country. I'm doing, do we call it 1.5 of what I paid in Qatar. So that means I'm paying 50% more to go to an African country than to go to Qatar. Again, those are part of the problem we've been talking about in terms of enabling that integration, making ticket cheaper, so that rather than people going out, at least they can, it's good to go out so that you have that international balance exposure, but we still have a lot of potentials here. But that's another conversation for another day. So there's that influx, and so you've mentioned food and all the ancillary industry that are maybe attached to it in terms of transport, tour, visa, travel, essentially then food, hospitality, and all of that. What other one or two before we zoom out of that and quickly attend to one or two other topics?
One of the biggest sectors is what we've touched on, which is the hospitality aspect.
Yes.
In Qatar, we have different schools. So you see the American schools, you see the British schools, you see Indian schools, Filipino, the Turkish school, but there's no Nigerian school.
Wow.
There's no African school.
But by the way, what's like the population of Nigerians there? Since you are into that association like Africa, what's the average 200K, 100K people?
No. Qatar is a small country.
I'm just giving
landmass.
The example.
On the estimates, as of my last discussion and findings from the Nigerian embassy, we're averaging around 11,000 Nigerians.
That's a lot, but African.
Qatar. So when we look at Africa, I cannot give you an estimate, but I could walk around 200,000.
Wow.
But between 100 and 200,000.
That's a lot.
Yeah, we've got a high population of Ugandans,
Okay.
high population of Kenyans,
Mm.
and Rwanda just became visa-free to Qatar.
Oh,
So
wow.
Rwandans are also coming into Qatar. We have Ghanaians, Cameroonians.
Yeah.
These are vibrant communities.
Wow.
Of course, North Africa. Oh, I forgot. Egypt, Tunisia,
Wow. Yeah, by default,
Moroccans.
because they are Maghrib's people.
Oh, yeah.
So
So
part of that
I
MENA.
could increase that number to 500,000.
Wow. By default, yeah.
But I could increase it to 500,000, having those numbers. And the Egyptians are very, very deeply rooted in construction industry in Qatar. They own that sector when it comes to
Yeah, I get
Africa. And looking at the whole African community, it's deeply rooted and wide. Of course, when we look at oil and gas, solid minerals, these are other aspects that Nigeria can also play in. Yeah, although that's at the top right there. Solid minerals, gold. You know where I'm coming from.
saying,
and also since Qatar will also be involved, or like in the diaspora involved in maintenance, there are certain equipment or certain materials that will be needed for maintenance, consumables that Nigeria can easily fit into. White cements for tires, for crying out loud. You can import those things. Gravels.
How about the ease of importing or exporting from to the place? How is it easy?
Yeah, you can export from Nigeria to Qatar, and you can also import from Qatar to Nigeria. We've got cars coming into Nigeria now from Qatar.
Are we using the same driving?
Same. And SUVs coming cheap, which is an area I'm looking into playing majorly in at the moment.
Yeah.
Because
let's talk about that off camera. Makes sense.
Qataris love SUVs, and also there's no much divide when it comes to the purchasing power there compared to back home here.
Yeah, I guess so.
These cars can easily come in here and still do another 20 years.
Wow.
And will still serve as luxury. You see, and that's an aspect actually that is actually springing up now.
Makes
I got
sense.
a couple of friends in the real estate sector who have ordered from another of a friend that's sent into the country. So that makes sense.
I'm even now. What is coming to my head now is that even maybe traveling there, you can take advantage of opportunity where you look at the two-way thing, right?
Exactly.
And that's what we talk about in Africa, especially when you have countries like that allow that free flow, that you might want to take advantage.
Yeah.
There's this whole container system where your container should move here full and come back full.
Yes.
So there's that exchange. And again, if both countries sees value from that, you are likely going to have less hassle.
Qatar is always looking out for values from people. So you see, I think to an extent we missed an opportunity. From my observation, this is me. My observation from 2014 prior to just after the blockade in 2019, 2020, Nigeria had an opportunity to position themselves in opening to supply Qatar with food.
Wow.
Or having a particular arable land, given to the country, Qatar, to farming, so they can export food from here to Qatar. Because, of course, Qatar is a desert area.
Yes.
Sustainable now, through the hydroponic farming and vertical farming and greenhouse.
Yes.
Almost sustainable with perishable food, tomatoes and all that. It's actually increasing there. But there is a wide range of food that's still coming through importation.
I get you.
Nigeria should be able to position there.
So do you think that it's too late?
I wouldn't say it's too late, but then profit margin will definitely play a key role in you winning that space at the moment.
True, because I can imagine some other players are probably more vibrant from Africa. I'm suspecting Kenya should be playing major, and South Africa should be playing major in that space.
Yes.
Okay, so let's zoom into. So we're going to touch briefly, maybe for like 2 minutes, on the. It's a bit political now, the war and what have you going on? How all this friction in the Middle East, how does that affect the long-term play within that space? In terms of risk assessment, political risk, and all of that. What do you have to say about that?
Qatar has invested so much in national security, and that has given the country the positioning to play at the level with which they play in the international community. Qatar accommodates or houses the largest American base in Middle East.
Oh,
so
I get it.
You get where
I
I'm
won't
coming
say
from.
anything again, but
and of course they also have strategic partnership and relationship with other nations. And again, if you look at Qatar is not a trouble-looking
they're
country.
extremely diplomatic people.
Diplomatic. You find them in the middle trying to negotiate peace between nations. So if you look at that kind of person, you don't want to hit the person from right or from left, because people will ask, why are you hitting somebody?
It's like the rallying point, because again, that's even where you could have a ground for peacemaking and arbitration. So that makes sense.
Exactly. So Qatar have understood that role, that assignment in quotes, and they've positioned themselves there that we are a peaceful nation.
Makes sense.
We want peace across the globe. You see how, if you go on the internet, you see the number of donations Qatar makes annually through Qatar Charity, direct investments, funds they've also donated and injected into economies of other nations. It will shock you to know that doesn't even deter their own internal, welfare that they also contribute. For example, it's according to Qatar labor law. Imagine the populations of foreigners, of expatriates in Qatar have to at least visit their country once a year, paid for by the government.
Wow.
Yeah, if by law, your employment gives you the opportunity to visit your country at least once a year.
Even Dubai does that, because there's one of our friends that came back home lately that said the company, actually not the country, but in this instance you're saying the country. When
I say the country,
well, through the company, I get you. And which for me, that's a very strange idea, sponsoring my homecoming. I like that, you know.
That's why you see certain, like I remember when my friends saw me visiting Nigeria after I left for Qatar, the first 2 years. I came visiting and they're whispering, they deported him. It was funny. And you're watching and because we're used to seeing people travel 15 years, 20 years, not coming. But that also tells you that Qatar and the region understands the value of family connection. Connecting you to the... If you look at, as a resident, when you're applying for visiting visa for your family, when you open the categories, it already tells you what value they attach to family. You're going to see your father, your mother, your uncle, your auntie, your brother, your sister, your in-laws. Wow. It extends to your in-laws. But how many countries will give you such broad latitude to do that? It tells you that they value family. The family values are there. And again, if you ask most expatriates, when you go to Qatar, ask around. They tell you they feel safe raising their families in Qatar. Qatar is a family-oriented country.
That makes sense.
Kids play around 12 midnight unattended.
Wow.
I'm not proud of it, but they come back home safe.
Yeah.
You see, they play around the park, parents not chasing after them. If you want, you can talk to the security guard. They check the CCTV. They bring your child back to you. How many countries would you do that in?
That makes sense. Because and for me, I'm so happy that we are touching on this, and I'm really grateful for you, touching on all of this, because I never really thought about it this much, and that also can give the viewers the opportunities to be able to begin to really think, at least, and that's why we say that traveling also is a major investment.
Oh, yes.
That you must do, because it opens you up to possibility, exposes you up to other culture,
True.
nuances and opportunity.
True.
And it could be a life-defining moment.
Oh, yes.
Partnership,
Yes.
business idea,
Yes.
Cross-pollination of idea, cultural engagement in terms of also trying to also be able to be well-rounded, because you can see how other people are doing. Look at some of those things we mentioned around the family value, orientation and all of that. Because a lot of people reckon now that maybe the reasons why they are taking their kids away from Nigeria to UK and Canada is for their future, safety and all of that. Some even say America, where safety is a very funny topic in terms of all these gun-wielding guys around, So that at least can give one idea to say, okay, if you want to raise your kids and family values from here, you can look at that, and it's easy to crisscross. Because again, the ticketing it's a bit fair, reasonable. So even if it's on a quarterly basis, you interface and you can interact. Then they are well-rounded. In the instance that they are a very cosmopolitan country, just like in Africa, the country that is like that in that sense from how you're describing is South Africa, very highly cosmopolitan. Kenya too is, but South Africa is much more cosmopolitan, because you see large mass of different from Bulgaria, from Italy, from Korea, India, and even Nigeria.
Catching up too.
Yeah, because that's what happens when you open up your borders to people.
Too. I will tell you, I visit Nigeria at least 3-4 times a year. In the last 2 years, I got jaw-dropping sights of. I think the trip before this one, instead of counting the number of light-skinned people in the flight, I was counting the number of dark-skinned people in the flight.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean.
I get you.
And then there's still that phobia of visiting Nigeria. And I ask myself, these guys coming here, who are they? Are they robots? But once you discover Nigeria, you cannot undiscover Nigeria.
Of course. Especially if you're an entrepreneur. For me, even though we're doing expansion in other African countries, one of the things I've also in evaluating everything so far in this year is to say, Guy, I still need to double down here. Yeah, we're going to do all of that. Again, we have a lot of products that can go across different countries, fine. But in terms of opportunity, there's still massive opportunity in every sector in Nigeria, notwithstanding the challenges. So as we begin to draw to a close, walk us through your transition to property.
All right.
So are you doing that in Nigeria or both ways?
This is an area now. If you've noticed from my transition, you see it's passion driven. Yeah. And when I start, I go deeper. And in the course of working as a safety personnel, I have seen that when this gets completed, you need to maintain. Moved into maintenance. As I started digging deep into facility management, looking at health and safety, each day it begs the notion like, why is this not home? Yeah. Why don't we have this at home? What's stopping us from achieving this? Like I said at the beginning, I left Nigeria, but I never left Nigeria.
I get you.
I've always had Nigeria in my heart, in my thought process, everything. My area of strength, facility management.
Wow, I get you.
However, in the last 2 years, we've been able to acquire plots of land for estates in Port Harcourt and Ogun State.
That's great. And
we'll be launching the hospitality arm of Tamim Properties, is the name of my real estate company. Okay. Tamim, which is coinciding with the name of the king of, or the ruler of Qatar. But Tamim in Arabic means precious. So Tamim Properties. What actually drove the idea of the real estate was the pain point from almost losing my property that I purchased at the point. And then I realized I'm in the diaspora. A lot of the times we'll see videos, diasporans crying, I gave somebody money to do this, they didn't do it. Or they actually have properties and they're appointing someone else's land. It's painful.
I understand.
So diasporans can easily relate with a diaspora who has a business in Nigeria, and then they can relate
that's
with
what
this person.
KGQI is also leveraging on to say, I worked in UK for a long time. I'm still there. I still go, which makes sense. People can really trust people that they've related with in the past. So that makes a lot of sense.
And then now the diasporans in Qatar and the region are seeing me now attending events in Nigeria, marketing Nigeria.
That makes a lot of sense.
And they're seeing all of the products we bring in and this partnership we're having.
Yes.
You know, like my very good friend who is the CEO of Brass and Castle is someone that I've grown fond of because his integrity precedes him, which is another value we bring on board. So people, when we're talking on the side, I said something that in Qatar, when you mention my name, and sitting here in front of the camera saying this, the first thing that comes to mind, people will tell you, that guy, if he tells you he's white, go and sleep, he's white.
I get you.
I do not play with my name. Integrity, trust is a currency we trade with in Tamin Properties. And that's one other aspect that has been seriously bastardized over the years when it comes to business integrity and sustainability in Nigeria. Now, the real estate journey, so far, what I've learned so far, borders more on trust. I've also observed that people buy into you before they buy your product. So I
don't know if you know, I have a real estate company.
Nice.
Yeah, I do.
Beautiful.
I have lands in Ibeju and the rest.
Okay.
So I tell myself I'm a land baby now. Just yesterday, one of the clients called to say, how's the land doing? Like, I'm now a land baby, keeping land for people that are in Canada, in US, and all part of the world. You know, it's a thankless job anyway, but it's just something you have to do.
What that does,
you know.
How did you feel when you closed your first deal and seeing that somebody trusted you enough that I will buy this from you? A good man will want to do more of that. To see that I solved this problem. That's what I do. And from what you're saying, exactly what you're doing. Because now we're acting as the eye for them to see what they can't see. They've reposed their trust in you. When you're able to skate through the first phase successfully, they paid for something. They can see it. They build,
we have
and there's no stress.
Customers, because we have about 6 estates, this one buying this and that. It's a very high,
and you see
high
that
responsibility.
You see there's money that pours into where there's trust. Money pours into where people get value. And the number one value in our climb here is the trust. Another aspect we're venturing into, next month we'll be launching our Airbnb housing complex in Benin, Edo State. That's the hospitality arm that will be launched next month. And we call it Rest Nest. So it's a nest where you rest.
That's good. But why Benin? Why not Lagos? As it's been purported to be Lagos or Abuja in terms of maybe where you get maximum investment, particularly in Airbnb. And considering also that, but I can reckon maybe your logic is around where it's home, which number one. Number two is that in any case, 30 December is coming and it will touch everywhere. So,
and at the same time, we travel a lot.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
We travel a lot, and we also have an eye for quality. So Restness is being developed to cater to people who are in the diaspora, who want to experience that diaspora feel
at home when they come, either in June, July, January, December.
You want to be in a place where you're comfortable. I have a simple principle. When I was designing and doing what I was doing with Rest Nest, I want to make it so difficult for you to go out. I want to keep you indoors. I want you to stay indoors and be so comfortable that you're like, what's going on here? I can't even leave. I want to go out. I can't go out. That's the whole, as simple as that. It's a resting place. It's a place where you come to rejuvenate, where you come to, get yourself back. And the other aspect that I'm really looking into, delving into, is agriculture. we hear about the blue economy, blue economy, but I'm looking at the aquatic economy.
Makes sense.
The blue economy, yeah. I have fancied the fishing industry for a long time. Fishery is something that resonates big with me, and that took Tamin Properties to Rwanda.
Wow.
We're in Rwanda. And in Rwanda, there's an ecosystem that's coming up. It's not kicked off yet. Again, we do not want to spread ourselves too thin.
I understand,
But in Rwanda, we've got a team who are already doing the studies where this will be set up. And once it's done, of course, as you're a real estate player, so many others who have the same interest. I am a number one pioneer of collaboration. So don't be surprised tomorrow I call you and say, I have a client
I'm absolutely a fan of that. Extremely, one of the things we push, one of the central core value of the show, and as Showcase Africa is, you can't achieve anything if you are showcasing Africa and you are not collaborating. You're wasting your time.
Exactly.
Really.
Collaboration is one big thing for me. And from what you've explained is what this show pushes promotes. And you know, collaboration actually makes life easy for you.
Yeah, of course.
You cannot have 100% of nothing. Another aspect is the partnership we've gone into with some real estate companies in the US, where we're promoting fractional ownership.
Makes sense.
So 10 people coming together, $10,000, buy a property, share the return on investment annually, locked down for a period of 5 to 10 years, renewable by all members who are there. So that's something that we have also kicked on doing. And again, I have always centered my operations on the principle of learning, unlearning, learning, and relearning. Like, if we are not learning, that means we are not moving. So I meet people, I discuss with people. Just yesterday, I was in the real estate forum organized by REDAN, Real Estate Development Association of Nigeria, at somewhere in the island. And I met with top players. I listened to the challenges they have, and that challenge, resonates across board. I know you yourself, you would have seen certain things that you can't actually actually understand. Why is this happening to me? All I did was buy a land. All I did was sell a land.
I get you.
Why are certain things coming up? And then when we analyze and backtrack, reverse engineering and all that, it all still goes back to 1978. The Land Use Act of 1978. But guess what? The government is willing. Are the citizens willing? Have we been able to put together what we want? Who are the government? Me, you. Everybody is the government as it affects us. Whoever is there now leading us was placed there by us. One way or the other. Represents us and reflects us. When they leave, they will come back to be us.
I get you.
If they have the opportunity to fix this and they are not told what to do, how do they go about it?
Makes sense.
So the real estate is big, it's deep, it's interesting. It's still young in Nigeria, in Africa, and it's so wide. So wide. You don't need, you can just take your land and plant grass and mow it and open a park. Aesthetics. You can just put quota, bitumen or whatever, and put line markings next to a big market, car park. So it's so wide. We need the government to also help structure. This is something I was talking with someone yesterday. Why don't we have a zone where we just want to have high-rise? Not as expensive as the Atlantic, like this zone now. We just want it to be high-rise. We want to make sure that this is an iconic photograph we're going to be having to represent Nigeria.
I get you.
There are a lot of Nigerian billionaires that can erect a tower, like an high-rise. Bring 50 of them together, go to a beautiful place in Lagos and say, this is central Lagos. When you're driving from the airport, this is the view we want people to see of Lagos. We want to have this high-rise in this area. This is what the government can do. I don't know if I should say this, but as I was going to do something at the airport today, I saw two cows fighting. Yes. that could be someone's last moment of Nigeria heading to the airport.
Yeah.
Cows were fighting along International Express Road
leading to the international airport.
I was going to the airport. So many other cars behind me or before me were going to the airport. That is the image of Nigeria they are going to carry with themselves into the plane, flying. When there's grass everywhere in this country. You eat a seed, you throw it anywhere to germinate. Why would the cow be on the International Express Road? So these little things actually define us as a people.
I get you.
And architecture, the beauty of architecture is that it brings to life how people perceive a nation. Nigeria is wealthy. We are rich individually and collectively. We just need to organize. And if we want to organize and be taken seriously, from the way we take photos, the way we love photos and videos, let's have a beautiful scenery through real estate.
Thank you so much, Mr. Precious. Thank you for coming. And it has been a very, very eye-opening session with you today. And that's why we're encouraging our viewers. You need to not only watch, you need to like all our videos and make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us across all social media platforms displayed on the screen: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, we're LinkedIn also, we're on Twitter. Make sure that you follow us so that you can be kept abreast of several interesting interviews like these and articles. Make sure you also go to showcaseafricaonline.com to read all of our fantastic articles around business, culture in Nigeria. Our objective, and in Africa, our objective is to showcase the beauties and the bounties in Africa and coming out from Africa into the rest of the world. And we're happy to have Mr. Precious in Nigeria doing business in Qatar and also now in Nigeria, of course, and Rwanda. And we're so happy. We hope that we're going to have another one session pretty much in the near future. And thank you so much, and good luck on all of your adventures across the countries and the continent. Thank you so much for joining. We'll catch you another episode of the African Business Showcase. Till then, keep flying.